What's up YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Shitbox Chronicles. On today's episode, we're going to be installing an HKS Fuel Cut Defencer in the MR2. There may be other options, but this one seemed pretty popular in the MR2 community, so I just decided to go with this one. Here we can see it's a pretty basic plain box, just white with some black letterings around it. Same thing all around, nothing very fancy here. Now we're going to go ahead and open the box so we can see what's inside. Here we can see the instructions are in Japanese, so I did some research on Google and the forums for installation instructions. I'm not a mechanic by any means, so always do your own research and verify you know what you're doing before installing any parts in your car. You want to know how something's going to affect your car before installing it. Forums are a great resource for it. Highly recommend it. So here we can see the actual unit itself. Looks pretty nice. The silver dial in the middle is what we're going to be using to increase the fuel cut level. The dial itself is just so you can adjust the settings where you want and where you want your fuel cut to begin. Looking in the box, we can also see HKS provided some connectors, zip ties, and tape. All good things to have when installing this product. Here we're going to open the front of the MR2. After that, we're going to disconnect the negative battery terminal with a 13mm wrench. Now we're going to pull the lever to the trunk. This will give us access to the back. A lot of you guys are going to have clips securing the carpet. I don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull mine out. Now we're going to remove the three 10mm bolts securing the ECU to the wall. You'll need to remove this bolt to gain access to the final ECU bolt. With the ECU sticker facing up towards us, we're going to remove the right connector. Okay. Unwrap the tape to gain better access to the wires. Here I've removed the rubber around what should be the E1 ground wire on the ECU. Notice I didn't cut the actual wire, I just exposed it. Here we're just wrapping the black HKS wire around the exposed wire from the brown ECU wire. To help prevent the wires from ever getting loose or losing connection with each other, we're going to go ahead and bond them together with solder. Alright, so you can see we soldered the first one. This is the HKS negative wire that's going to the E1 ground wire on the ECU. So this is the first one. We're going to go to the next ones here in a little bit. But first we're going to take this one off. Next, we're removing some tape to expose the light blue PIM wire. This is in the middle connector of the ECU. Just for reference here, the blue PIM wire, both the HKS yellow wire and the white wire are going to go to it. This yellow one, so we're going to cut the blue wire. The yellow one goes connected to the side of the blue wire that goes back to the ECU. The white one is going to go to the other side that goes back to the sensor. So it's basically going to be a bridge for the wire. Okay. We're not going to use the bullet style connectors. So we're just going to cut these off and solder them the same way we did the others. The blue PIM wire going to the ECU is the yellow HKS one. You can see we already got that one soldered in there. So now we're just going to tape it up and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, here we're cutting the bullet connector off the white wire. And just for reference, and so you guys can remember, the yellow wire goes to the ECU side of the PIM wire. The white wire goes to the sensor side. These are basically bridging that same wire. Special appearance by El Chancho. So you guys can see the second half of that wire. We got the white to blue sensor side, and then we have the yellow to blue ECU side. So these two wires are connected to the same blue wire. The only wire we have left now is the power wire, but we're going to go ahead and put electrical tape on the solder we just did. And as you can see, I marked it off, the tape right here. We're looking for a black with yellow. I'm going to lose some of this loom so we can get a little bit more space here. For the last connection, you can see here we got that black and yellow wire connected to the red. That's the final wire, so we're just going to go ahead and solder this, put electrical tape, and then put everything back together, and this FCD should be good to go. Alright, well, this pretty much finishes the install of the FCD. I know a lot of people mount this up here or somewhere else. My wires, I might have just cut them too short, I don't know, but that's where it fits. It doesn't bug anything, so I'm just going to leave it there. Cool, that was all through fourth gear. I made it up to red line now without getting fuel cut. It worked. Installation was a success. Hell yeah.